one main issue was in competition that it must be made by hand, but it must look like modern building and building this time. So they think somehow they make the opposite way, that quite often they make the building which looks like old, but it's made with modern technique. So to think different way, make the modern building but old techniques. So the handmade gives the character of the space and the material, and we really can make with carpenters and workers. We can make the solution and talk with best solution at every place. So it was a quite teaching project with the communication with carpenters and workers. Easy, but of course the construction is important part of building, and the main system is that there's a lock structure inside. What is the main primary structure, and some kind of net structure outside what keeps the lantern up, and also the eaves, the walls are hang on to the eaves, so it's levitating the building in the outside. So the outside you can only see the single walls and roof, but inside when you go you can see the roof structures and the main issue in the church hall there's all that lock structure, and also that lantern light what comes only to the top of the church hall.
This area where our office is not perhaps known, but the fact is that it's in the middle of flat landscape, so it's completely horizontal. And for me, it took like quite a long time. I think I was in Norway in what is the island up in the north? Can't remember but still there was just fjords or mountains. And then I realized that this landscape is absolutely opposite of my landscape or the landscape of our area. So it actually being there give that value to that landscape. And also I can say that I can like the landscape in Norway, but I can say that I like the local landscape there in Seinäjoki or our office area. So every landscape has the qualities and something to love or don't love too. But if you ask that how it's connected to Finnish culture or Finnish sense of architecture, if you meant that of course it's a sense of inspiration, but that was what every architect in Finland says. But still, it just gives some kind of instinct of how to build it, and then you can study that instinct by some techniques or some think through kind of methods, and it usually what is the first expression? There's always something, and it can be just created by the landscape or nature or something. But also you can find the sort of places from some city structure, so it necessarily don't have to be a nice pine tree forest or some nice seashore or anything. You can find interesting places already from the build urban fabric also. We have many kind of works in different scales for different purposes, from different materials, steel, concrete, brick, but also wood, what has become probably my favorite building material. And to live in an area where there are carpenters, people who are processing the timber to be wood and so on, it's always nice to have a talk with them, because they have some sort of knowledge what is not necessarily passing on by education to an architect, but they have a knowledge, and if you just let them talk and tell, you can always learn something, and it adapts to your work when it's done. And we have been quite lucky in a way that we have met really interesting people who are working in the fields of wood industry, or not in a big scale, rather in small scale. They have something special and what we can use, and they are not like first persons to tell that it's not, you are not able to do it that way. They are like thinking through it and trying to find a way of doing it, and that has been really nice in our office to cooperate with those masters. We thought that this could be nice way of little bit showing the process of how buildings can be done in that way, what we are doing when it's possible. It's not possible every time, but this time it's kind of a free project, and we can also perhaps open the thing. We can show the origin actually quite precise way, where the trees are cut, who have cut the trees, how they have planted, where they have sawed, how long they have been dried, who have taken care of the drying process, who are then collecting those trees and selecting the quality trees out of them, and what is done afterwards. So I think it's always good to know what are the things behind these. It's really simple wooden house, but still, when you open the process, I think there's lots of ideas and perhaps things that can be also think through with other materials and projects in a bigger scale.